Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Well, I don't give a shit. Because if people don't like me because of the way I talk or think, that's their business. See what I'm saying? That's their business. Like, it's your business. I ain't mad at you if you don't like me. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, it's your business. It's not my business. The question is why do people care? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they need your validation. They want you to like me because they don't like themselves. So they're looking for everybody else to validate their value. Am I cool? Am I good? You like me?
Did I make it?
Am I right? Huh? You know, I don't do that.
Three places that you can stay for absolutely free. 3 of them. You ain't got to pay a doggone thing. Hear me. Understand that you can stay out my face for free. You can stay out my business for free. And you can stay out my way for free. Those things won't cost you a doggone thing. 3 places you can stay for absolutely free. Thank you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Monday, YouTube. It's nice to see all the beautiful people in the chat this morning. I'm getting tongue-tied. Having a great morning already. Many of you guys don't know. This is going to be fairly a light live today because I've got to take the vehicle in for repairs. So I don't know how long we're going to go, but I've got to get it in this morning. So excuse me. So good morning, everyone. Amalou, first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty, followed by Jeremy and Misty. Good morning to all. Get your coffee. Now's the time. We're going to go over a few things. We're going to go over a few things that Dolly went over last night. I don't know what's wrong with my throat this morning. It's driving me nuts. Excuse me. It wasn't like this until I went go. It was like that. I don't know what's going on here. Stacy, it's good morning to you. I found the song, been listening to it all morning. Oh, awesome. Well, you don't have to listen to it all morning. We can play it again. I mean, we can play it again. It is a great song. That's why I like it. It really kind of embodies, a lot of the stuff that many of us go through, keeping us strong. I love music that has lyrics that are positive in nature. And so I've thought many times to change the song. We do have other songs on the track, but it's just, that's kind of our song. So I've kept it. I've chose not to change it. Maybe one day we will, but I actually like it for the intro. I play around with my intro, as you guys can see when we come in. Just kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Am I feisty this morning? I don't give a crap this morning? Am I over it this morning? Right. So those change, when we're getting ready to go out for cases. I'll throw, some of the work that Chronicles and I and JLR was with us at that time. So, we throw that back out there and, we just kind of have fun with it a little bit in the morning. But I always want you guys to wake up in a good mood because we talk about such crappy crap first thing in the morning. And this is usually the first show that starts the YouTube off in the morning, especially in the true crime genre. So we just like it to be a little bit more positive than not. I don't like, I haven't gotten some, heavy metal, stuff to wake you up, but it's just not me. I like that song. I like that song a lot. So, at any rate, there you have it. Cool Gamer. Nice to see you in here. Sunshine. What is it? Chronic Ways. Nice. The song is like my morning hype song. Yeah. I think it's kind of our morning hype song here. Yeah, absolutely. Not just yours, but the whole crew. 410 people are already in the chat this morning. Haven't even been going for a few moments. If you guys have not liked this video, go out and like this video. It's very important that we like. If you're part of the replay crew, put a comment in. Tell us your opinion. If you were not able to chat with the group and stuff like that and want to have your opinion heard, please don't forget to add a comment. Throughout this, if you hear something, put a comment in the comment section if you're on the replay crew. So Harley Dragon, nice to see you. Lunch Lady, nice to see you. Colleen, Nana of 7, Butterfly Den, Ruby, good morning, hun. Zen, Sonia. So we got Dixie Rebel. By the way, Dixie Rebel, thanks for posting the information about the landfill. I did get the landfill information of them quitting, and that's in the Quentin Simon case. They're going to stop searching on December 9th. It's very heartbreaking. Very disappointed in that revelation. We'll talk about Quentin Simon here in just a minute. We're going to be talking about, all the updates on all the cases that we were going on briefly today, but we're going to be identifying, we have a breaking case out of Idaho, Mascow, Idaho, 4 university students that were slain in their home, according to law enforcement, slain in their sleep. And we are just going to be covering that case, giving you guys any updates. We know we have college kids that go to this university from all over the country. This is hitting home. I'm sure at least 1 or 2 people in this chat. This is hitting a little too close to home for comfort for them. And so, we just want to make sure that we're updating people, especially on breaking news, breaking cases, and getting the message out there. Law enforcement is still looking for any video photography from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. They have some specific areas. We're going to be discussing those. We're going to be going over the press conference, and we're going to be going over that Fox News clip that Dolly discussed last night. As many of you guys know, I was up. I ended up going to bed fairly early. But then after I got off Dolly Vision and getting ready to go to bed, my mind couldn't shut off. So I started researching. And then, of course, that Fox News clip had just recently come out. So he ended up playing that. Good information, good analysis. And we're going to be going over that this morning. So if you guys have missed Dolly Vision last night, we will be going over some of the stuff that was covered in a different respect, because Dolly has a different theory than I don't share his theory with the whole serial killer type of vibe. I'm not getting that here based upon the information from this press conference. I think this press conference was very eye-opening. Some people wrote me and said there wasn't a lot to this press conference, and I beg to differ. And we're going to go over those things. I mean, because this, believe it or not, the police chief told us some things that maybe he wasn't really supposed to tell us, but he did. And he slipped up a couple times to at least my delight in identifying, a few factors related to this case. And we're, again, going to go over that. Just want to say good morning as we start filling up the chat. Big Boy, somebody said I got my Big Boy coffee. Good morning. That's Chronic Waste. Good morning to you. But we also have a lovely person that follows us by the name of Big Boy. I did get your comments. If you are watching Big Boy and you would like, I know that you're blocked. I don't know how you got blocked. You're one of our, one of our fans in here, and I love communicating with you. But however, it is what it is. If you are watching this, please send me your URL to your page. Searching for subscribers is much more difficult than, say, searching for a content creator. There are a lot of people that share similar names that are subscribers. It makes it next to impossible to find you whenever I'm looking for you. And also it comes down to it's just difficult. So if you're blocked on this channel, and you did nothing wrong, because I will check. So don't send me a whole bunch of emails from 5 different accounts saying, hey, I need unblocked. I'm going to look at your accounts. I'm going to make sure that you're not a troll begging me to unblock you. But Big Boy, if you will send me your URL, I will be sure and make sure you do your name the way you usually do your name. So I know it's you and not some troll. And send me your URL and I'll get you unblocked. And I apologize about that. No worries. Guys, I will tell you, we run a tight ship here. Very rarely do I get in here and block somebody. I block somebody if I just, if I feel like it, right? So that's my job. I can do whatever the hell I want on this channel, right? It's mine. But my mods kind of moderate. They moderate the entire chat. I let them. I don't want to step on any of their toes. They do a fabulous job for me. If you're blocked by them, usually it's one of two things. You deserve to be blocked, or it was an accident. I mean, that's it. The chat moves entirely too quick, so some people accidentally get hit unbeknownst to them. They did nothing wrong. It's just the way the chat is rolling through for the moderators. I've done it myself. I know it's possible. It's unfortunate, but it happens, especially as these chats fill up in the mornings. And the moderators, we only have, so many moderators, right? So long story short, we just, so if you're blocked, it's probably because you either did something or was an accident. They're very good at what they do, and I trust them blocking you. So if there is a reason why you are blocked, I will not be unblocking you unless I have the mod's permission to do so. So just FYI, the rules of the chat are very simple. We don't care what your opinion is. You can have it. We believe that opposing viewpoints makes for great debate. So we don't, I'm sure some of the people, have a little more emotional, stuff. So sometimes the debate does get a little heated, but the rule is say what you mean what you say, but you don't have to say it mean. If everybody follows those rules, there's no reason why anybody should be timed out. There's no reason why anybody should be blocked or kicked out of this chat. We just want to respect everyone. We do not bash other creators on here in the chat. If I have something to say about a creator, that's for me to say, this is my house, this is my chat, this is my show. So I am critical of certain creators. I try to stay out of the drama, the back and forth, the calling people out. That's why I like it being clean in the chat, because some of the stuff in the chat can actually gaslight other situations in other chats. And quite frankly, I'm tired of the drama. They can keep the drama on the drama channels. We do true crime. We cover true crime. We cover facts of the case. We speculate. We have opinions. We do those types of things here. But one thing we don't need to do, nor is it like we are way past the gutter. Okay, this channel is far past the gutter. We'll leave those people in the gutter, right? They can hash it out, be gutter trash all they want, and let them be that. Okay, we're not doing that. We shouldn't be engaging in that, even in other chats where people are dogging Bullhorn Betty or other loved members such as MGL, Justice for All, Dolly Vision, Chronicles of Olivia. There's no point in getting involved in those back and forths with them, because at the end of the day, we are excelling far past what their abilities are. There's no point in engaging. We have to respect them to value their opinion, which we don't. So if you guys choose to look under the hood, that's on you, but don't bring that garbage here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about what other people may say about me or say about, people that I work. I don't care. If that doesn't tell you anything, I seriously don't care. Nobody needs to come and fight my battles for me or anything of that nature, because I'm not going to fight with trash. I won't do it. I'm not going to lower myself to do it. And they will continue to make stuff. They will continue to try to drag the name, because my name produces money for their pockets. And I'm not going to plug them on this channel. I will not give them my time of day. We need to move past all this. If we want change on YouTube, we all have to be the beacon of change. It can't come from the creators. It's got to come from the audience. So it's up to you to make the decisions with what you make. Things may be funny, but are we really going to allow bullying, harassment, and cyber stalking to be our comedy for the day? You guys have to make that decision for yourself. And even for those creators that aren't beating up Bullhorn Betty, they're beating up another creator. Do you really want to support that? Here, there's no need for it. We don't need to attack people. I'm not on people's pages. I don't need them for content. I don't need to hang on every word they say. And I don't need to address everything they say. If they want to come after me, let them come after me. If they say they're going to come here, let them come here. I don't care. I don't care. Because what I find out is a lot of these people have a lot of noise, and it's a lot of shit talking. And these people won't even get out and post a missing person flyer for a missing baby, let alone they'd be willing to send a clown out, but definitely no flyers, nothing to do any kind of service for these cases in any capacity. They're garbage. I could care less what they do or what they say about me. I don't care. So I did want to take a few minutes just to address that. You guys do what you want to do with the information. I'm a liberty person. I respect everybody's decision to make a decision for themselves. It's just that, I do want to let you know, you do have a choice. And if you choose to continue to support these hate groups, don't complain when they are getting out of control, because you have put the money in the pockets of them to allow that. So be responsible. Sonia, nice to see you. Yeah, and for everybody else, please don't forget to go out there and like this video. We need for every show we do, we need to hit at least 1,000 likes on the show. So if you guys love this show, you want it to keep going, we cover a lot of great information related to this case, well-researched, well thought out. I, analyze a lot of this stuff and provide my professional opinion based upon my experiences that I've had. Some people out there may not have the same viewpoint as me, and that's okay. Again, it makes for great debate. So good morning, everybody. We're going to be starting really, really soon. I just want to get through some of these things. Connie, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you've been doing good. I haven't had a chance to really talk to you much. So I know you were struggling a little bit, before all these cases started going crazy. And I just am praying for you, and I hope you're doing really well. So nice to see you here. Yep. Happy Monday, Manic Monday. Right? It's Manic Monday. But the good news is the Bullhorn Betty channel has had Coffee Club on time for 2 consecutive days, guys. We're doing it. We're doing it. Like the funk, the fog, the exhaustion, everything is kind of cleared, and we're able to start our days off back to normal. I am having to do a second show during the day because we do have a lot of new people that have been subscribed to the Bullhorn Betty channel, but they are not early birds like the originals, right? We've got some that are probably thankful, like, I don't have to wait until noon to watch anything, right? But there's still a few that are just pulling their butts out of bed, at noon. So we need to keep them entertained as well. So we do a couple of lives. We're growing, obviously when we have growth, we need to be producing a little bit more for everybody, so everybody can be involved and everybody can be part of the chat and everybody can be part of the conversation. So we're trying very, very hard to incorporate 3 flying doves. Good morning. Long time since I've seen you in the chat too. I'm sure you've been here. I just haven't seen you. So good morning. Margaret Allen, another one. Love ya. Nice to see you. Alabama mama of 4. And we got Pebbles, Katrina, nice to see you. Christy, Tracy 3. I love coffee. God, let me tell you a state secret. I do too. I love that name. And I'm probably going to be joking every time I come across I love coffee, because everybody knows this whole entire channel is built on this stuff. It's built on that beautiful smell, the aroma, the waking up, as you hear it flowing into the coffee pot. We are addicted to our coffee. But for those that don't like coffee, tea, soda, water, it will do. Just grab your beverage and let's learn a few things, and let's see what we can uncover. Kimberly, nice to see you. Oh, Emma, Moonlight Magic, La Bamba, nice to see you guys. I miss you guys. I love seeing everybody in here. This is really nice. This is really nice. I hope everybody's just having an amazing morning. Let me see what we got. Good morning. Maria Brown says, good morning, Betty. You are the woman I aspire to carry traits. Aw, thank you. Thank you. I wish I would have went, it's kind of crazy because I feel like I missed my calling whenever I was younger. I really do, because I was so fascinated in forensics and, crime scene stuff that it really, and then of course, many of you guys know my story of me getting in trouble, kind of snuffed that stuff because, even though I could have used it in my legal background, with attorneys and stuff like that, I really did want to use it in a law enforcement capacity. But, unfortunately, a lot of people, it takes a special person to be law enforcement. And while people with past can become law enforcement, change their life and live out their dream, I find that taking my abilities, bringing it to YouTube and, teaching people is not, is a way that I like to inspire people to study these things and think differently Sometimes people think, a lot of this stuff really truly is problem solving and common sense. It really is. I know many of you guys are probably, I've heard a lot of people saying that they get Ted Bundy vibes from this Idaho 4, that this was strategic and clean. It wasn't. This case, just for those that are coming in for the first time, they don't know what this whole Idaho 4 is all about. Let me just give you a little bit of background. So there is many of you, and let me just give you some context. So when you go to a university, you have an option. When you send your children there, you go yourself, you have an option to live in on-campus housing. You have an opportunity to live at off-campus housing, or you can just get a property anywhere in and around that and commute from your home or rental property to the university. But a lot of children that are coming from out of state typically utilize one of two housings, either on-campus housing or off-campus housing. They are the same types of housing where they put multiple people inside one resident, and it's like a 6-bedroom. For this example, the house that these kids were killed in was a 6-bedroom, 3-bath house, which means it sounded like, and it was 3 levels. So it sounded like 2 people were on the bottom. They had the 2 bedrooms on the bottom and a bathroom to share. The people on the second floor, according to the records, appear to have had 2 bedrooms on the second floor, 1 bathroom, plus they had the kitchen and the living room on that second floor. And then on the third floor, it was 2 more bedrooms and another bathroom. So each level had 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. And the one in between the top floor and the bottom floor is the one that actually had the living or, like the living room and kitchen type areas in it, was right there on that second floor. So it's kind of like that. So it is almost campus housing. It's just off campus. So that's where these kids were living. They were living about a mile away from the university on off-campus housing. It was not too far from the Sigma Chi fraternity house. And many of you guys know that Zaina and Ethan, 2 of the people that were killed, went to that Sigma Chi fraternity party. The 2 unharmed individuals went out and did something else unrelated. And then the 2 other people in the house went to the corner bar, Kaylee and Madison. It is reported by law enforcement that Kaylee and Madison came, and Ethan and Zaina all arrived home around the same time, around the 1:45 mark, as when they arrived home. The other 2 unharmed individuals that lived on that bottom floor came home around 1-ish. So about 45 minutes before the rest of the folks came to the house. It is alleged that the reason why they did not hear, now you have to remember, this is a several level property. This is a large living property. It has over 2,000 square feet in it. So, I mean, it is a fairly large property. So it does appear to be wood frame in nature. But when you're downstairs and you're in a off-campus housing, parties happen. These are college kids. My uncle went to the University of Florida after he left the Navy. He was on his GI Bill, and he went there, and we paid for him to go to college to be a physical. We, as in the taxpayers, because he had served his country for 30 years in the Navy and decided to retire from the Navy and become a physical therapist. And he went there, but he was an older college student. And we're going to dovetail as to why I'm telling you about this older college student, is because it is alleged by Dolly that he believes that this is a serial killer and that he does not believe that this was a college kid age person. And so I wanted to kind of explain that just because people, there's all types of ages that go to college. I mean, the majority of them are coming out of high school and things of that nature. But this idea that this person, even if we think he's a serial killer or something like that, and, you use the statistics of the serial killer, 35 to 40, white guy, a loner, those types of things. Dolly was absolutely accurate. That is usually the behavioral analysis of who might be responsible for a serial type of killing. It's typically a white man, a white man between 35 and 40, right? So, but the illusion that all kids in universities are, 18 to 20 something is an illusion. There are people that are going to college that are 60 years old. There are people that are going to college that are 35 to 40 years old. So this college age kid thing, yes and no. It still could be somebody from that college, even with Dolly's theory. But again, I really don't. I don't think it's that. I think this is more personal. I don't think that this was a random attack. I don't think that these people did not know each other. And the reason why I do not think that these people knew who this murderer was is because the sheer amount of people that died. It was like they had to go because they could identify the killer, in my opinion. From what I'm getting from the press conference, and we're going to listen to it, is I really don't believe that this was somebody that has done this before. The way it was described, it sounds very messy and very sloppy. It didn't seem to me that this person, I mean, yes, we have 4 people that have lost their lives, but those 4 people were apparently ambushed in their sleep. Again, does this mean that they knew him? I think what would have happened, and this is just a theory. There's a couple theories I have with the whole, who got killed and everything. We know that the access to the house was most likely on the 2nd floor. That is the floor that Ethan and Zaina were in. Is it possible that this person, just came into the 2nd floor and started going through the rooms, not knowing which room their victim, their target was in? That is a possibility. Could it have been that this person was just, whatever happened or transpired, all 4 of these people were involved in it? Could it have been an ex, somebody that they knew, a fallout from a friend, and there was something that all 4 of them were involved in? It's possible that that's it, and this person went in there to kill all 4 of them intentionally. We hear about the fixed blade, the long fixed blade knife. I'm sorry. That is not a knife that you're going to find in the kitchen. So that tells me that most likely this person brought that knife with them to carry out this act, i.e., that I do believe that this was absolutely premeditated in nature. We've heard from law enforcement, and we're going to listen to it here. Actually, let's just go ahead and listen to what they have to say. Let me just see what I missed here. According to one of the fathers, he said that they told him very sloppy. Yeah, we're going to go over that. Yeah, what's the deal with the animals being killed? That could very well be unrelated. There are some things that are going on in and around here, but us in the true crime, we look at everything. We pull information. Obviously people are doing their due diligence. They're finding out some odd behaviors that have happened in this community in recent months prior to this. That is very concerning, because many of us know that in the serial killer type of theory, you're typically going to have a person that has a past of injuring animals. It's just, the name of the game. They injure animals. It's part of the psychology. It's part of the behavioral analysis. Whenever you're dealing with these types of cases, again, you're dealing with people that have major problems and have probably acted out on those major problems multiple times in the past before it elevated to this point, if that's the theory that you believe. So that animal does have relevance if that is the theory that you believe. I'm going off of what law enforcement is telling us. They're telling us certain information, but you have to read between the lines of what they're saying, at least for me. And, sometimes reading between those lines, you can get it right, and sometimes you can get it wrong. But we're going to be reading between the lines today. That means we're going to be talking about what they're not saying. And why I believe what they're saying and not saying has relevance. I think it was targeted was Kaylee, and they killed whoever picked through the rooms first, aka Ethan and Zaina. They came through the sliding door, which was on the 2nd floor where Ethan and Zaina were. Yeah, I think that they were the first, and I think that they weren't the actual target. It sounds like they are good people. They were together. It's not like they had this entanglement. It seemed like that they're not the ones that kind of, they'll go to a frat party, but they seemed responsible. They seemed, they don't seem like the ones that would have been targeted. There's really no motive for them. We have more motives for Kaylee and Maddie, to be honest with you. And we're going to go over some of that here shortly. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. I'm not sure if we're 100% on the same page, but this is kind of the, I do agree that some of these things that you're stating is kind of part of my theory as well. So yeah, I missed my calling at Buller. I wanted to be a policewoman, but my dad always said he would disown me. I'm 50 and have 4 children, all with autism. Oh, God bless you, Maria. God bless you. Guys, don't forget to go out and hit the like button. Let me see how many likes we got. We've got 800 people in this chat, and we have 318 likes. That's not even half, folks. So go out there and tell me what number like you are this morning. Let me get down here. I know we have a super chat here. Who is this? Looks like Momo. Thank you for the super sticker. I'm sorry. I would like to show it on panel, but I can't find you. I can't find you. Too many things are going on here, but I do see you at the top. So Momo, thank you so much for the love and support and the 99-cent super sticker. I love it. I'm going to have to go on the site. I got to find out. I love these super stickers. I really, really, really do love these super stickers. And I like to see them, but unfortunately on StreamYard, it doesn't show you them. It doesn't show you them really well. So, and then when I'm on my back studio, it won't allow me to go up any further. So I'm sorry, Momo. I would have loved to have seen it. I'll see it on the replay. Thank you so very much for the love and the support. Maybe the dog bit the suspect, needs to check for DNA in the dog's mouth. Good thing. We're going to be talking about the dog too, because that's one part of this case that they're not referring to that I've heard. I haven't heard law enforcement tell us where the dog is. Is the dog alive? Is the dog, did they locate the dog? Did the dog get out? Where the dog was located in the home? I mean, this was a Labradoodle. I know people talk about I believe that Dolly was referring to a Doberman that was under the bed shaking. While there are some very timid animals that were abused in the past or sheltered and they don't know how to be dogs, 90%, I'd say 85 to 90% of dogs, no matter what size, if they smell fear or know that their owner is in life-threatening danger, they usually act out of instinct. That is the case. You can have the most docile dog in the world. Like, for example, I understood what he said because many of you know my husband had 3 dogs. Chance, which was a little miniature pinscher. The first dog he bought, he was so proud of that dog. It was an AKC registered miniature pinscher. He was the runt of the litter that grew up to be the biggest dog of the litter, which was really kind of funny how it worked out. And then when Max, my dog, I had a dog, a pit bull, a big pit bull. When my dog died, Chance grew up with my dog since he was a puppy, and he just was never quite the same. So Vince had gone out and got Layla from Arcadia and brought her home. We went through I want to say a dozen dogs. Anybody knows a miniature pinscher, they are a-holes. Right? He's a sweet dog, but they just don't like other dogs. And so we went through 12 dogs, and I swear to God, I thought every single dog we were going to bring home was going to eat my dog alive, right? Eat Chance alive, like a chop, because he was such an a-hole. It was he just didn't like anybody. And so I was like, man, do we really want to go to Arcadia? Do you really want to pick up this dog? What if Chance doesn't like her? And he's like, oh, it's a pit bull. It's just like Max. He's going to like her. He's going to like her. I'm like, okay, go pick up your pit bull from Arcadia. 3 or 4 hours later, he's pulling in the drive. He's got this cute little dog. I go to the back of the truck expecting this pit bull. And it was a Labrador. And I'm like, this is not a pit bull. This is a black lab, the cutest damn dog I had ever seen. And we took her out of that cage, and her and Chance literally played and ran around the yard for literally 4 or 5 hours. They were absolutely in love. They were from that point forward inseparable. And then on Father's Day, his daughter gave her America. She was a red-nosed pit with baby blue eyes. She was obviously red, white, and blue. She had a white and red coat, red nose, blue eyes. Beautiful dog, beautiful dog. But she was the timid one. Like this, she was big. She looked like she could, she'll chew your ass up, right? that's what America looked like. You didn't want to mess with America. But she was the timid one in our family. She was the one that was really sweet, very docile. She hated being on a leash. None of my dogs needed to be on the leash. They never left the yard. They were trained very early on never to leave the yard, and they didn't. Occasionally, they'd go and sniff down a couple doors down, but they never left the yard. They didn't run away. You could leave the door open without the screen door on it and go in. They'd all be sitting in the living room, no matter what was going on. Cat could walk by the door. They'd all be sitting in the living room. But I always said that Layla, the sweet Labrador, I always believed if something ever happened in this house, that it would be Layla, the Labrador, that would light their butt up. It would be America under the bed, the pit bull. It'd be Chance that would be dead because he would be the one that was attacking whoever came in the house, because he's like the Scrappy Doo. Have anybody watched Scooby Doo? He had that little nephew, Scrappy Doo. Let me at him. That was my Chance. That was the miniature pincher. He was the the Scrappy Doo of the Scooby Doo clan. You know what I'm saying? And then Layla was just the sweetheart. But I really truly believe if anybody broke into this home, if anybody tried to hurt me, it wouldn't have been Chance that helped me. It wouldn't have been Layla or America that helped me. It would have been Layla. Layla, I really believe, as sweet as she was, she would not put up with that kind of crap. And I believe she would have done it instinctively. And I believe she would have lost her life instinctively. So I do believe that dogs have they have a portion in them that no matter whether they're trained to attack or help, they will in certain situations instinctively. And I hope that was the case. But again, how many people have heard about this dog? I mean, we know that the dog exists because Kaylee's mom was talking about her and her conversation with Jack, because they had recently broke up. They had this dog between them. They both needed to figure it out. It sounded like mom and dad truly believed that Kaylee was getting back with Jack. This whole little break was temporary in nature. And while that may be true, we need to discuss that. And are we missing something? Are we missing something? And I do believe we are. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Dogs are protective. Yeah. And I think a lot of them have that instinct. Now, some of them, may not. And that's just like anything with any animal. Like, we are animals, right? We're part of the animal, like the whole human diagram. We're animals, right? We're mammals. And I truly believe that there is a fight or flight in every animal. I believe dogs have it. I believe people have it. I believe other animals have it. There's just some people that run away, and there's just some. But I think the majority of dogs instinctively fight because that's their instinct to do. So enough with the dogs and stuff. But I am curious if anybody knows whether or not the police have said anything about the dog. I'm just curious. Oh, don't forget, Kaylee had a stalker. She confided in a friend. Yes. And we thought that was a physical stalker. Come to find out, she believes she had an online stalker. And I got to tell you, online stalkers are just as, in my opinion, just as dangerous. I've got many online stalkers, and I know how unnerving it can be at times to have online stalkers. I got people that stalk me around this community. As many of you guys see, because you know that they put it up on their social media. It's still illegal as hell. But, I'm feeling better, and we'll be addressing those in this next week as I prepare to leave. And I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm going, but I'm leaving. I'm leaving soon. If any of us are outside and someone is just, what does Tracy 3 say? Outside and someone is just walking down the street, our Roxy goes nuts. She bites at the windows, barks and growls. Yeah, my dogs didn't do that. My dogs were quiet. Quiet. I mean, even Chance, he's a miniature pinscher. Many people say small dogs bark and ankle bite and stuff. Not Chance. Mm-mm. And you barely, like you, my dogs, like you come up to you barely. They didn't bark. They didn't bark. They occasionally one of them would bark, but my dogs didn't really bark. They didn't carry on. They didn't go crazy when people came up to the door. They were well-mannered dogs. What they would do, however, if you came in this house, is they'd want to sit on your lap and want to lick you to death. But I still believe Layla would have lit somebody's ass up. I've said that for many years. I never trained them to be violent, never had to, because I truly believe in their instinct. Oh, thank you, Maria. I wish I could have done this for Momo, but Maria, thank you. I want to get over here and see what this looks like. I loved seeing the, there it is, a heart. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But let's go ahead and take this. We're already 45 minutes into the show. Kind of warmed everybody up. Let's go ahead and get to this press conference. I know many of you guys seen it. What I'm going to do is there's only 2 sections of this press conference that we're going to focus on. It's the very beginning of this press conference, and it's the very end of this press conference. I'm not really interested in all the information from the schools and stuff. The state police really didn't say anything. So I'm really looking at the chief and the captain's statements, which I think were the meat and potatoes of this press conference. And then the Q&A at the end, I think really is the meat and potatoes of this press conference. If you guys would like to watch the press conference in its entirety, I will make sure that it is linked in the description on this channel for this segment. Again, don't forget to like. We have almost 1,000 people in here. Let me see where our likes are. Our likes are only up to 426. So if you're just coming in to the Bullhorn Betty channel, please go out, give me a thumbs up. It's free to say thank you to me and the wonderful mods that make the chat and your chatting experience wonderful. So please don't forget to like this segment. Let's go ahead and get here and let's see what we can find out. I'm going to mute, and I want you guys to tell me. I'm going to mute my side, and I want you to tell me if you can still hear the audio.
Welcome. University of Idaho President Scott Green.
There you go. Okay. I just wanted to check on that.
Blaine Eccles and Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson. This incident has shaken our community, has continued to shake our community. We continue to mourn for the victims. We will continue to vigorously pursue the investigation and pursue justice in this case. It is a complex and terrible crime, and it will take some time to resolve. Today, we want to clarify what we know and where we're at in this investigation. Our primary goal is public safety and to get a completion of this case and bring someone to justice. We continue to dedicate all the resources to this investigation. We've had 646 tips received, and all will be processed, vetted, investigated, and cleared. We've done over 90 interviews in this case so far, and the Mascow Police Department is utilizing the assistance from the Idaho State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and Latah County Sheriff's Office. The personnel that has been assigned to this from the Mascow Police Department is 4 detectives, 24 officers, and 5 support staff. Federal Bureau of Investigators, we have 22 investigators in Mascow, 20 additional are assigned and located in the Treasure Valley, Salt Lake City, Utah, and West Virginia.
So they have what he's going through right now is literally all the resources, manned resources that they have. It is impressive how many people they have. It's impressive of how many actual state police officers are surrounding that campus to make sure the people that are going there are safe. But he's just going to go here. I'm probably going to go ahead and speed this up just a little bit because, to be honest with you, he's not really giving us a lot of information. It's going to be the captain that gives us the information.
Crime scene and a crime scene team. We have 15 uniformed troopers.
So here we go. This is obviously the chief. This over here is the captain. This over here is, I don't know, the corporal or something of the police, the state police. Maybe I don't know what he's a high ranking position. These folks here are from the university. So we're going to be hearing these two people here are who I want to hear from. And then we're going to go into the Q&A aspect, just FYI.
To assist our community, to help provide the additional resources for our patrols. Detectives are looking to develop any content that would help us in this event. Anyone who has observed any notable behavior or has any video surveillance.
I'm going to go back. I want you guys to hear what they are seeking. So if there's anybody in the Mascow, Idaho area that is watching this channel for information, if you're in that area, in that specific area, and they're going to tell you specifically what areas they are looking at and where they want these videos, any type of, and guys, they're looking for somebody that may potentially have scratches, cuts. These people are going to be telling you that they did yard work, that they scratched themselves on bushes, that they, got hit by a wall, that they fell. They're going to come up with some stupid excuse that makes sense to them as to why they have sustained these injuries. So please be cognizant of people that have facial injuries, injuries on their arms, injuries on their chest, and, potentially, that K-bar knife keeps you from slipping. So there is potential for cuts on their own hands, but there may not be, because it's possible, if this was premeditated, that they actually wore gloves at the time that they did this assault.
Or can provide relevant information.
Oh, here.
Or has
Here we go.
anyone who has observed any notable behavior or has any video surveillance or can provide relevant information about these murders, please call our tip line at 208-883-7180. Or you can email the tip line and that is tipline@ci.moscow.id.us. At this time, I would like to introduce Captain Lanier to give you some additional information.
Okay, this is the one. Oh, sorry. Let me get over here. This is the one you guys need to pay very close attention to. He is going to be breaking down this case. Pay attention. If you guys are note takers, now would be the time to get your pad of paper out and start taking notes for yourself, like Bullhorn Betty does. I've already taken notes, but the point being is that we need to take notes on this because they are going to be clearing a lot of people here. We don't usually get people cleared up front. I think this is a great strategy for law enforcement in the social media world, where there's a lot of people that speculate and a lot of unhinged people that like to accuse people and go on their social media and call them killers. So it's nice and refreshing to hear people being eliminated and not hearing that mantra of, everybody's still a suspect, blah, 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 because they're putting those people through pure hell, especially when they know that they're cleared. So I do like this idea. Oh, thank you, Zen. Thank you. On me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Love it. Love it. Thank you. But again, we definitely want to pay attention to everything this gentleman here is about to say.
Good afternoon. My name is Roger Lanier. I'm a captain over the Operations Division for the Moscow Police Department. My last name is spelled Lanier.
Thank you, Brandy, for the update.
I just want to first state that this tragic murder has shaken the community. It's been very hard for members of the community, and it's been equally difficult.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause this right here because I do want to address this. Brandy, thank you. They said the guy at the truck cleared. 2 survivors cleared. Mentioned a phone call to the ex, but didn't state if the voicemail left. That we do not know what voicemail is left. However, Kaylee's mom did elaborate that another interview that she called Jack to say, we have a dog between us. We need to figure this out or something to that effect. We will get over to the mother's statement here shortly so we can hear Kaylee's parents and how in their statement related to Jack. But I do believe that the person that they were calling, and we're going to hear it from him, from the captain himself, that they are in fact, Jack is in fact cleared. So I want you guys to hear this and formulate your own opinion, but we're about to hear it right out of the mouth, right out of the horse's mouth here.
For our officers and for the investigators. We will continue to put all of our resources towards investigating and bringing this to a resolution. Here's what we've determined so far. On the evening of November 12th, Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Wogan were at a local bar and were later at a food truck in downtown Mascow. They arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. on the morning of November 13th. Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were at the Sigma Chi house before also arriving home at approximately 1:45 a.m. 2 surviving roommates were also out in the community, and they returned home at approximately 1 a.m. and did not wake up until later that morning. On the morning of November 13th, at 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed to the Whitcomb Dispatch Center reporting an unconscious person.
This has confused the hell out of everybody. I have to be honest with you. We thought it was because, we saw some statements yesterday that were in the chat about it being possible that somebody walked in and walked out and fainted. We're also hearing that remember, the people were on the bottom floor. Where you come in, it's possible that somebody went upstairs and came back downstairs and fainted, and the people downstairs still hadn't seen what was upstairs. We don't know. This whole unconscious person has me just like they still have not explained the 911 call. Who was the unconscious person? Why can't they say it was a friend that, explain how the unconscious call came in as opposed to, this horrific crime scene? You would expect that the call would have been unhinged, shaky. They would have been talking about everything that they saw upstairs. So we're very curious about this entire unconscious person 911 call. It's still nagging at me. It is still nagging the crap out of me. And I can't make heads or tails, but it does sound like that there was multiple people in that home, not just the 2 surviving roommates. And it sounds like somebody must have been hanged out downstairs and went upstairs. Because remember, the kitchen and everything is on the 2nd level. At what point did somebody, this was a horrible, horrible, graphic, gruesome scene. So how did we get an unconscious person call? I have to be honest, did not explain that in this conference.
The call originated from inside the residence and was...
Now, this is why I'm stopping it, is because people are saying that this call was spoofed. Law enforcement is saying right here, as a record of fact, that this call was generated from inside the home. This was not a spoofed phone call. This generated by one of the phones inside of the home. Not spoofed.
Made from the phone of one of the surviving roommates. Mascow Police Department officers responded and located 4 victims, 2 on the 2nd floor and 2 on the 3rd floor. The Latah County coroners conducted autopsies, and detectives have been provided with the results of those autopsies. We know that
when they said that the detectives were provided the autopsy and the information in the autopsy, and then he goes to explain a little bit, I want to caution everyone. He is not explaining everything in that autopsy report. He is only hitting on a few major findings in that report. So there is still stuff in that report that we have no clue is in it.
autopsies confirmed the identity of the 4 victims, determined the cause and manner of death as homicide by stabbing, and determined that it was likely all 4 victims who were asleep during the attack.
That's another point of importance, because many people were stating that Kaylee making 10 phone calls to her ex Jack that night. They have identified Jack. They don't allege Jack here, but we're going to watch another segment that will identify Jack as being the person that she was calling 10 times. I don't think she was frantically calling him. Whatever reason, you know, she had been drinking. This is a boyfriend that she's going to be getting back together with. You know, that's what her mom said. This could have been one of those things where she went out to a club and she wanted to see her man. And she was trying to wake him up so he could come over and spend the night with her. And, you know, that just may be all it is. Because to be honest with you, if she had time, if she was in fear for her life, drunk calling probably, Miko says, and I have to agree with that. You know, if anybody has been intoxicated, we've all done that very thing that Miko is stating. And I have to be honest with you, that's what it feels like, because think about it. Let's use our problem solving and our critical thinking. And if she was in danger at that point, so much so that she's calling Jack 10 times in a 10-minute period, that's a call per minute, she would have picked up that phone and dialed 911. She wouldn't have kept just calling him and calling him and calling him. So I really believe the call to Jack was unrelated to her attack because of the reasons that I explained. But, you know, did want to explain that on here. Let me get that off. Get it back over here. Okay.
Some of the victims had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times.
So let's listen to this language just a little bit closer.
Victims who were asleep during the attack. Some of the victims had defensive wounds.
They didn't say one, guys. They didn't say one of the victims. They said some of the victims. This implies more than one. All were sleeping at the time of the attack, which goes back to the whole conversation with her dialing Jack's number 10 times. If she was frantically calling him because something was making her fear for her life, I doubt that she would have been sleeping in bed when the attack happened. She would have been most likely in the living room, most likely in a number of places. So that's what makes me really believe, again, that Jack does not have any part in this. She was calling him, but not frantically calling him. It sounded like more in line with drunk calling, like Miko said. It really does, even with all this. Just back up.
During the attack. Some of the victims had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of sexual assault.
That is huge, because if this was somebody that was stalking them, predatory in nature, or somebody that had been rejected, that may have been the motive behind this. But they're saying that is not a motive. That's not what happened here.
Investigators have determined 2 areas of interest within the city and have provided maps which are on our Facebook page.
We will look at those maps here shortly.
And on our website. And these are areas that they have canvassed for additional surveillance video and tips, and have contacted several residents in the areas. The areas are generally south of Taylor Avenue to Palouse River Drive and west of Highway 95. Detectives have also canvassed several other neighborhoods looking for evidence, looking for additional surveillance video, and contacting residents and speaking to them to see if they may have heard.
We're going to go back and put this on and put these pins on a map and see what direction that they're focusing in, because that may help us decide the direction of travel for this suspect. We'll be doing that shortly as well.
Or seen something. I want to address several areas of speculation, conjecture, and misinformation that has circulated on social media platforms and otherwise. We do not believe the following individuals.
Guys, get your pens and papers out. This is where they're excluding people. They have cleared these people.
Are involved in this crime. The 2 surviving roommates.
So the 2 surviving roommates off the list.
A male seen at the grub truck food vendor.
The male that was with them, that nobody knew who he was, he has been cleared.
Downtown, specifically wearing a white hoodie. A private party who provided rides home to.
So Kaylee and Maddie's ride home from that, we thought it was an Uber. It wasn't an Uber. It was a private person that drove them home. And that private person, again, has been cleared.
To Kaylee and Madison in the early morning hour of November 13th. Additionally, the identity of the 911 caller and the 911 call have not been released. So
he's saying anybody that says who called and what they called for has not been released. So right now, we are looking at both of the surviving roommates being cleared. We have the grub truck gentleman that was with both the girls, Maddie and Kaylee, cleared. We have Maddie and Kaylee's driver that drove them to their home that evening, cleared. So we have a total right now, as we sit, of 4 people that have been fully vetted and fully cleared by law enforcement.
Any information out there is speculation about that. Investigators are aware that multiple phone calls from Madison and Kaylee's phone were made to a male subject. Any online reports stating that the victims had been tied and gagged are not accurate.
So apparently there are some conspiracy theorist channels out there driving a message that something happened inside that home that did not. These people were not tied up. It appears that they were ambushed in their sleep inside this home, inside a home where they were targeted. So far, again, the people that are just joining into this show, 4 people as of right now have been fully cleared. And that is 2 of the surviving roommates, the ones on the bottom floor, that first floor. The grub truck gentleman that was with both Maddie and Kaylee that had that white hoodie has been cleared. The driver that took those 2 girls home after they were at the grub truck, cleared. They also said the people that called in the 911 call, that has not been released, and who made that call has not been released. But we're going to get to those people have also been cleared.
Detectives seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road and searched those dumpsters in an effort to find additional evidence, but nothing of note was discovered. Early in the investigation, local businesses were canvassed in an effort to see if any fixed blade type knives may have recently been purchased. And currently, there are no suspects in custody, and we have not located a weapon. I want to assure you that
Now, I have a problem with the way he says no suspects are in custody yet. One, that implies that to me that they know who it may be. Another thing, another theory that I was kind of, rolling around in my brain was how about if somebody is in jail on unrelated charges? And I'm really interested in finding out who had been arrested in near and in and around in the first 3 or 4 days after this. So from November 13th through say the 17th or 18th, I am looking for any arrests that were made. But even with that, we don't know if they would have been arrested in Moscow or if they had fled to a different area and were charged on unrelated charges and sitting in a county jail somewhere else. Those are all possibilities at this moment. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because we have the experience with Michael Monkey Vaughn's case and Stacy Wandra being in custody since April, and none of us being the wiser that he was being held because law enforcement believed that he was responsible for the disappearance of a 5-year-old boy in Fruitland, Idaho. So there is that possibility.
Investigated a weapon. I want to assure you that every investigator involved will continue to put all of their resources and all of our partner agencies' resources into continuing this investigation. We do appreciate the community's support. We understand how stressful it is, and we will continue to work through this situation. At this time, I would like to turn the mic over to Colonel Wills from the Idaho State Police.
So he's Colonel Wills. So what we learned, and then we're not listening to Colonel Wills. It's more of, we know that people are, upset about this. We need time to investigate this. Please be patient, yada, 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 that we don't need to waste the time of this chat for that. It is a calming message that needs to be heard, but for the purposes of here and our time constraints this morning, we're going to bypass that and get right to the Q&A, because I believe the Q&A really does hit home. Is there any indication of more than one attacker? Honestly, I don't believe there is. I don't believe there has been one scintilla of information that this wasn't carried out, but by a single person. And I'm going to give you my theory because I think we're looking in the wrong direction. I really do. So let me get over here. This is the, okay, so here was the first question. And you know what? Kind of crazy, because Fox News, now this guy that's about to ask a question is a heavy hitter with Fox News, the big Fox News, not the local Fox News, the big Fox News. And I felt like the chief was a little disrespectful to him a little bit, and I don't know why. So listen here. He almost implied that this Fox News person wasn't paying attention to their Facebook page and other information that they have released, which I don't know how I like to take that, but hey, whatever. It is what I got no dog in the fight, right? So I'm so sick of the femicide all over the world. Yeah, the presser is really concerning considering the facts stated. Hold on, let's see what Lex has to say here, and then we'll get back to it. So Lex is saying, the presser is really concerning considering the facts that they stated there were other friends inside the home prior and after the crime. That's a ton of unnecessary DNA in that house. Yeah. I'm not sure if I agree that he said inside the home. Oh, you put prior ? I think people were coming over that day for the people on the bottom, or maybe even the people on the top. Maybe there was plans that they needed, that they were going to have that day. I don't know. But yes, there were definitely some friends, some other occupants in that home that we were unaware of until this press conference. But thank you for that. Let me see if there's any other ones before I move on. Supposedly that's not blood. It's just from the foundation. No, that's definitely blood dripping out of that. I saw it myself. That's absolutely blood. Thank you, Pebbles. I did see that. The Sarah has court today at 10:30. Let's just get back to the Q&A.
Is anybody from the University of Idaho or not?
News.
Okay.
Afternoon. I'm Ted Williams, Fox News. You all have said that these killings are targeted. Can you share with us why you believe they are targeted killings? And do you know who, if any, of the victims were the actual targets of the killings?
Now, again, he's going to be, he ends up answering his question, but you kind of hear the wagging of the finger to this reporter. But we want to hear what he has to say, because all of us are asking that very question right now, whether they put it out in a statement or not. We've all are very concerned about that very question right there. Why do they feel that it's targeted? And do they feel that one individual was targeted as opposed to the group collectively? I think really is his question. So let's hear the answer.
As we stated earlier in the previous press release or press conference, we believe they're targeted because we take a totality of all the circumstances.
So they're taking all the circumstantial evidence that they have on its face when they walk in there. Now, mind you, these people have dealt with this kind of crime before. They have the FBI there. They have the state police there. They have literally almost 50 some odd investigators / detectives on this that are very, very, that have a craft to solve crimes such as this. And they're saying they have looked at the evidence, the circumstances surrounding this case, and have determined, based upon what they've uncovered, that this is a targeted attack.
We're looking at. Do we know any one person that it was targeted? We're not able to say it.
So the answer to that question, do we know if one person was targeted? The answer is yes. Okay, listen to how he answers that, and you'll understand why I say they know who was targeted.
Person that it was targeted. We're not able to say at this point in time due to our investigation. But
that tells me they know exactly who was targeted in that house. The reporter is a former homicide detective out of Washington, D.C. Yes, I've seen him multiple times on Fox News back in the day. So I knew he was a heavy hitter when he came in there. But again, you know, this captain, excuse me, he's the captain? No, chief. This is the police chief. This police chief is saying that they've found enough, you know, based upon the evidence that they have collected, that they know that this was a targeted hit. And even though he can't directly state due to the integrity of the investigation, but he basically said, yes, we know who was targeted. He didn't say it, but that's what he implied. Listen to this again. I want you guys to hear it.
Do we know any one person that it was targeted? We're not able to say at this point in time due to our investigation, but
we're not allowed to say it at this time. Okay, we're not allowed to say it at this time. Listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth. So yes, this was a targeted hit, and yes, they know exactly who was targeted.
We still believe that, but we, like I said, we take a totality of everything that we're looking at.
Chief Glenn Mosley, Idaho Public Radio here in Moscow. On the resources, do you have the resources that you need?
We do have the resources. It is an incredible outpouring of what we've received from the Idaho State Police and from the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Latah County. Anything we ask for is given. So at any time, if we need additional, all I have to do is call the colonel, and he will provide that. He's already guaranteed me that, and I know the FBI has said the same thing.
Hi, I'm Emma Epperly from the Spokesman Review. I know you've said you're not going to release who the 911 caller was, but was the killer the 911 caller?
I will tell you no.
So now whoever made the 911 call, let's put that on the list. We don't know who it is. We can put a question mark. 911 caller has been cleared. Whoever made that 911 caller or call, whether it was the actual other tenant that lived in the home, one of the surviving victims / witnesses, were cleared, but whoever called, if it wasn't them that used their phone to call, they have also been cleared. So if you can't hear that, they said the call came from the roommate's phone, but you did not imply that the roommate is the one that made the call. Did the roommate make the call on the roommate's phone? Or was it another individual?
Go to this one first.
He didn't want to answer that. He didn't want to answer that, and I don't know why, but he will answer it. Listen.
So what I'll say to that is it was made from the roommate's call or phone, excuse me. And we're not going to divulge who made that call to be.
So it does seem like it's implied that maybe the roommate didn't make the call, but based upon the question previous to that about the 911 caller being the killer, he said no. So no matter who made that call, whether it was the owner of that phone or not, it seems like the owner of the phone as well as the 911 caller have been cleared.
It's part of our investigation still, and when we get ready to release that, we will.
So they know who that is. They just won't release
Hi,
it yet.
Christina Corbin with Fox News. The male subject whom the women called, has he been ruled out as a suspect? Or
this is related to Jack. The 10 calls that Kaylee on her phone made 8 calls, and then Maddie on her phone there was 2 additional calls, a total of 10 calls going to this male subject, which has been later identified by Kaylee's sister and mother as being Jack. So they're asking whether he is potentially involved. Listen to what they say.
your person of interest?
Everything that we have taken from those calls, we have followed up on, we've cleared, and
we followed up on and have cleared. So Kaylee's boyfriend, Jack, has been cleared. Okay. So now we have the 2 surviving victims cleared. We have the grub truck boy in the white hoodie cleared. We have the driver that took Kaylee and Maddie home cleared. We have the 911 caller that may have been the surviving roommate or may have been the friend that used the surviving roommate's phone has been cleared. We have, they have talked about Jack, Kaylee's boyfriend, the 10 calls, the male subject that they were calling. They have taken the lead and they have cleared the lead. Jack is not a subject of this investigation.
From those calls, we have followed up on, we've cleared, and we believe that there's no connection there.
We believe there's no connection. They're always going to say we believe. He's saying there's no connection here. Take the we believe away. There is no connection here. Okay. They have the state police, the FBI, and multiple agencies helping with them, providing them resources. If they say that this person, they would never imply a person is cleared unless they are fully cleared. I will let you guys know that right now. So this is not, they're going to come back and pinpoint him. So far, all these people have been cleared. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people have now been cleared.
Gotti Schwartz, NBC News. Just following up on the 911 call, you said that you don't believe that's the killer. Can you conclusively rule out the person that called 911 from inside the home as a suspect in this case?
Can you go ahead and just ask that one more time, please?
So he's saying that he's not a killer, but can they rule out him as a suspect? So he didn't understand the question. It was kind of a loaded question from NBC. I have to be honest with you.
The person that was inside the home that called 911 that was not one of the roommates. Can you conclusively rule that person out as a suspect at this point?
I don't think I said that it wasn't one of the roommates. I said that it was used with the roommate's phone.
I believe somebody asked if that was.
So he's kind of implying, I didn't say the roommate used the phone, but this roommate's phone was used. So it is giving us the implications that it is possible that it was not the roommate that made the 911 call. The roommate may have actually been the one that fainted and was the unconscious person, you know, so.
No, that's correct.
So they're asking about these. Let's go back. Let me see if I can hear this a little bit better. Hold on.
Roommate's phone. No, that's correct. So will you clarify that for me?
So she's asking. So she's now asking, she's now getting wind that, you know, he's starting to have, you know, word salad here about this 911 call, implying that there's another person there. And she's picking up on that and asking, you know, was there more people there? This is the first time we're realizing, it was this press conference last night, yesterday, that we realized there were more people at that home at the time of the unconscious person call. Let's listen.
There was other friends that had arrived.
That implies they weren't there the night before. They're talking about had arrived. So by the time law enforcement was there, they're already getting friends of these victims, friends of the surviving victims. They are now starting to come to the home. Bad, bad mistake. But, you know, again, we now know that there were people arriving.
At the location. Honestly, I'm not quite sure at this time, to be quite honest.
Do you guys have any idea if the killer's still within the community, or are you looking outside the community for the killer in terms of their physical location?
We are looking everywhere that evidence would lead us. I can't say if the person's here. I can't say what community the person's in. We're utilizing every resource we can to.
Guys, I'm sorry, but he is telling us he knows who it is. You guys aren't picking that up if you're not. Let's listen how I'm listening to this, okay? So let's listen to her question.
Or are you looking outside the community for the killer in terms of their physical location?
We are looking everywhere that evidence would lead us.
Everywhere evidence will lead us, but listen to what he says after.
I can't say if the person's here. I can't say what community the person's in. We're utilizing every resource we can to make that location of that individual. And part of that is the safety of our community is paramount. And that's why we brought in the resource that we brought in to keep our community as safe as we can.
That's word salad. I'm telling you, they have an idea of who is has potentially committed this crime. That's what I'm feeling throughout this. Whether he's there or not.
I cannot comment on that.
See, he can't comment on that. They're asking, you know, have an interstate, investigation. So they're really trying to keep the identity of this suspect undisclosed to the public. And it does go directly to the integrity of their investigation. We want them to keep, unless this suspect is behind bars, he needs to be anonymous. He or she, I believe it's a he, but needs to be anonymous. So I do still believe that they know, and they keep saying that individual. Thank you, Illusion, meaning one person. And I was going to get to that because there's some more statements at the end that kind of hone into this being a single individual that perpetrated this crime.
I'm not even aware. We're looking everywhere.
They're asking, are you looking into Washington? Many people don't know that Washington is literally just 10, 15 minutes away. Oh, good morning, Olivia. 10 or 15 minutes away from this university. So yeah, this is, Washington State is not that far from this location in Idaho. So she's asking, are you going across the state? Are you looking in Washington? And this police chief is saying, yes, we're looking everywhere.
I'm going to take 2 more questions.
Do you still believe this attack was done by one perpetrator? And if so, how does one individual kill 4 people at night and not wake up the other 2 roommates?
That is a great question. I love that question.
Our investigation will continue to look at all avenues of that investigation. I cannot disclose any of that information. I don't even know that information at this point in time, and that's why we're.
Yes, you do. Come on. We know we play this game too, dude. We play this game too.
Continuing to investigate.
You don't know how this happened without the other two roommates hearing it or waking up.
We do not. One more question.
Hi, Angela Palermo, Idaho Statesman. In the press release yesterday, you confirmed that the victims were found on the second and third floors of the home. Can you say which of the victims were found where?
I'm not going to go ahead and disclose that information. They were found on the second and third floor, and that's as far as we're going to go with that part of the investigation too.
So they won't disclose. We can assume because Ethan and Zaina were, and I'll show you a map of everything here shortly, but Ethan and Zaina were on the second floor in a room. We've identified what room they were in. We know that they were sleeping. So we know for a fact that that would be the room that this attack happened. We also know, now the question is, did Maddie and Kaylee, were they in a room together or were they both in their own separate rooms at the time of this attack? Sometimes girls, especially BFFs, may go out, have a good night, get intoxicated, eat, and then go and crawl into bed and watch a movie or, grab a glass of wine and they're kind of hanging out and then they just fall asleep. So were they in the same bed? Were they in their own bedrooms? Both the girls had their own rooms upstairs, but they were BFFs. So one of them being in the other room is not surprising.
Too, because all those key pieces do come to play later. So
all those key pieces do come to play later. And when he says that he doesn't even know that information, are you kidding me? You are the police chief. We know you know everything. So very smart, still playing it close to his chest, playing stupid in some cases when he does not want to answer the question, which is what I expect. Okay, so I'm not beating up this police chief whatsoever about how he's handling this. He's giving people the utmost transparency while protecting the integrity of the investigation. Good job.
We do thank you. We thank you for meeting with us. We thank you for helping get information out. And I can assure you, we will continue to work hard. We will continue to do everything we can to solve this. So thank you.
So yeah, he's doing great. He's been, saddled with, an unthinkable crime. But what I'm pulling out of this for my own self, reading between the lines, is that they have absolute evidence to indicate that this is a targeted attack. Absolute evidence. And if you can't, it's hard for me to believe that you have absolute evidence that this is a targeted attack without having a suspect in mind. So again, the Jack is a nothing burger. I know people are going through this. They can't explain the surviving people how they didn't know. This is a housing for college kids. There is parties that go on in these homes on the weekends. A person living on the first floor, not knowing what's going on the second floor, hearing some screaming, some thumping, music. They would not have been wiser unless they had come upstairs to engage in the party, that was not a party. From my understanding, when they heard the party going on or what they thought was a party, they locked their bedroom doors and stayed in their rooms. So that could very well explain. It's probably not that they didn't hear anything. It's probably that what they thought they heard was more in line with them having, being loud, coming back from the bar, playing music loud, having a party, so to speak, and which is not uncommon in these types of environments. Let's be honest. These are college kids, they're away from their parents in some cases for the first time, they're letting loose. Weekends are party, there's very few people. I mean, look at all 6 of these people. Every single one went out that night. Every single one did not come home until after 1 a.m. So, it's not uncommon to be hearing. I mean, I've had, parties at my house where I went and slept and I didn't hear a damn thing. And I wake up and there's beer bottles and people passed out everywhere. I didn't hear none. That was my 20s, right? So, and I did not have a multi-level room. I had a 1-bedroom apartment, and they were in the living room, and I was in the bedroom, and I didn't hear. So I'm deaf in one ear though. But there are explanations for that. So I don't want people getting hooked up on that. We do know that law enforcement has cleared them. So that's all that matters, is that they told their story. They obviously had evidence to back their story up. And, I doubt that these people, if law enforcement are saying that these kids are not responsible, they're not responsible. They're saying that this is a targeted attack. They're saying individual, the individual, not individuals. They keep constantly saying individual, individual, individual. That is implying one person. They say that they all were killed by the same knife. It's very rare that you have 2 killers in a house that pass a knife around. Here, I got these 2. Here's the knife. Go up there and get the other 2. So these are all the things that are indicating that this act was carried out by an individual person. This was a targeted act, targeted by an individual person. And let's go to some of the starred stuff that I got throughout this. Tracy, thank you. I think 2 or possibly more friends came by. What woke up the roommates? Roommates probably called, then got upset, gave the phone to a friend to talk. I think dispatch used unconscious because they were unconsolable. That is possible as well. Thank you for that insight. Thank you. Eastern Kentucky Independent News, Whitley states Pebbles. I think there were 3 doors total, and there was a sliding door though as well. So we definitely know the sliding door because they were dusting it for prints. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. And Tracy 3 again, they are supposed to have another presser on Wednesday, I believe. I wonder if it will be to announce an arrest. Very interesting thoughts. It's possible, but definitely very interesting thoughts and perspective. I do have I've been notified. I set my notifications to get that presser when it becomes available, and we will be watching it. It's I think at 3:00 on Wednesday, so we will probably run live with that press conference directly from here, the Bullhorn Betty channel. I will go ahead and set that up so everybody can go ahead and get notified. If you guys want to come here, we'll break it down for you guys after the press conference is done. I'll give you my opinion on what I heard. My opinion may change. Like yesterday when I was listening to this, I missed some things when it was running live, but I got a chance to listen to it again when Dolly played it. And I got to listen to a couple other things that helped drive home some very important key pieces of information. This was a very well press conference that we are able to pull a lot of information from. And again, we were able to clear. Again, when we deal with criminal cases, homicide cases, we very rarely get law enforcement that tells us who they've cleared. Because, when you have a small pool of suspects and you clear all these people out, the suspect is kind of left dangling in the wind, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to notify the person of interest, the suspect in the case, that they're the only ones left, right? But here, this is a little different. This is college kids. These are parents that are probably unnerved. They're dealing with a lot of heat from the community, from the parents, from the college, from other outfits, law enforcement outfits, to get this solved, because people are scared, and rightfully so. I'd be peeing in my pants if this was happening in my backyard, especially in the brutal way that they were taken out. The 3 girls were targeted. The guy was collateral damage, in my opinion, because he happened to spend the night. Actually, I kind of think a little different. I think we're looking in the wrong direction. You're probably ready to kill me. It's like, what is she trying to say? What is she trying to say, right? So what I'm trying to say, hold on here. Let me get, I got to get to my messenger, because we're going to put up another one. This is the last one. I sent this to Dolly last night as I was going to bed, and I want to find it. Give me just a second. There we go. There it is. All right.
with a Fox News alert. The parents of one of the 4 murdered University of Idaho students are speaking out to Fox News and standing behind her ex-boyfriend, who she called minutes before she was murdered.
So I'm not going to go too much into this. You guys saw that. I know he pushed it through, but I do want to go through the mom's statement. Give me just a second.
We love Jack. Absolutely love Jack. We stand behind Jack 1,000%. Jack was Kaylee's boyfriend for many years. They just recently broke up. There was no animosity at all. It was a breakup on Kaylee's point. It was not, they still talk every single day. Kaylee just thought that she needed a little break. They're wasting their time with Jack. And Jack is just as distraught as we are. Jack is our family. Jack is 100%, 2,000% our family.
Okay, wow. So that was the parents seemingly clearing.
So the parents of Kaylee are confident that Jack is not responsible. Law enforcement has come out and talked about the gentleman that was called, the male subject that was called multiple times by Kaylee and Maddie has been cleared. Jack is not the focus of this investigation. The parents of Kaylee are additionally coming out and saying that Jack is not the focus of this investigation. So we have to take that into consideration. Jack is not the focus of this investigation. Jack is not the one that targeted these people and did this.
The ex on television and talk about this. They talked about there being so much evidence that police are looking at.
Here is where this stuff comes in. This was not this was a very sloppy killing, guys. Okay, this was messy. This was not well thought out. This doesn't have the appearance to me as somebody that has done this before. There was a lot of crucial mistakes made, and they have overwhelming evidence that they have to process.
From evidence within the house and even outside of the house. And I want to play a little bit more sound from the parents talking about all of the evidence police are looking at. Let's listen.
They're telling us that there's so much evidence that it's going to take a lot of time to process it all. This wasn't like a pinpoint crime. This person was sloppy.
This person was sloppy. So guys, this is not what you are being told by other channels. This is not this man's second, third, fourth killing. This is a sloppy. This was done by somebody that was not prepared to carry out this. And that is great news for the victims, their family, and law enforcement. That means lots of mistakes were made. We have to take into consideration what this family is being told and what they are telling us. They're not going to come here and tell us that this was sloppy when it was a pinpoint precision, well executed, homicide. We're not dealing with that here, folks. We're not dealing with that here. That's why I'm saying this is personal. This was calculated. This was carried out by one individual. And this was sloppy in nature, and this one individual made a lot of mistakes. I do not believe that this person is 35 to 40. I believe this person has dated or has been shot down by one of the girls, and it wasn't Kaylee. I truly believe we are so focused on Kaylee and Jack, we are not diving into Maddie. I believe that Maddie, in this particular case, is the target of this crime. I don't know why I feel that. I don't have any receipts to back this up. But for me, I truly believe we are looking at all the other people and not looking at the one victim in this case that I believe was truly the targeted person. And for whatever reason, I think it's Maddie. I don't think it's Kaylee. Now, there is a theory that I have that makes Kaylee the target as opposed to Maddie. And it was because I truly believe that, you know, if for example, say that Kaylee and Jack took a break, these are college kids. Typically when you take a break, you fool around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You have a little, you know, a slice, you know, or strange, whatever you want, whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm wondering because Kaylee's mom was so adamant that Jack and Kaylee were getting back together that if she was, messing around with somebody else, she would have had to tell him, hey, look, it's not working out with us. I'm getting back with my ex. That could have infuriated him. That would be the only situation that I see where Kaylee would potentially be the target. I don't believe Zaina or Ethan were the target of this crime. I truly believe, and I said it yesterday, that it had to do with the girls. And then I kept researching and researching and researching. And I'm like, what are we missing? Everyone in and around Kaylee. Okay. Some of them are around Kaylee and Maddie, but everybody around Kaylee appears to have been cleared. The roommates, the surviving roommates have been cleared. We are not even hearing from law enforcement about Zaina or Ethan because I don't think that they are the target. If you hear this, it seems like every time we talk about it, it seems like Kaylee and Maddie are more the focus of this investigation as opposed to Ethan and Zaina, excuse me. And then I'm utilizing my brain and I'm thinking, why is everybody around Kaylee being cleared? But we're not hearing about Maddie. We're not hearing about her life. We're not hearing about her circle. We're not hearing about her ex-boyfriends. Who was she dating? Who was she seeing? I really believe that Maddie may have been the target. So if the sleuths want to start digging into her instead of Kaylee, I'd appreciate it because it seems like everybody is so focused on Kaylee. I was too. But I really believe because we're so focused on Kaylee, we're missing the ball. We're missing the big picture. B12 is saying maybe a coworker. That is absolutely, I'm putting that on the, where do these girls work? That is a great suggestion. Let's find out where these girls work. But it seems to me that the target was the two girls, not the boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know why, you know, we were focusing on Jack, we're focusing on Kaylee, but what if it's not associated with Kaylee and actually associated with Maddie? So yeah, great thoughts. Let's get the coworker, where they working, you know, they're college kids. They, you know, mommy and daddy may be paying for everything and they may not be working at all. They, you know, parents sometimes say, we want you to focus on studying and getting your degree and not working. Mommy and daddy's got your room and board and stuff like that. But, you know, again, we do need to look into those aspects because it is possible. Remember, in Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner, guess who it was? Who was responsible for their double homicide? A coworker. A coworker that was homophobic. Did not like the lesbian lifestyle. Right? So it is possible that there are coworkers that can pull off a heinous crime. But because of the personal nature of this, I can't imagine what somebody would be so pissed off about at work. This seems like this is really personal. This person, I don't know why, but that's the vibes I'm getting. I know that is in opposition of some of your vibes and some of your opinions and speculation on what could have happened, but that's mine. To each their own. It makes for great debate. Again, I'm interested in hearing your insight on this particular case. I'm looking for your insight on whether or not what your theories are on, you know, do you think Zaina or Ethan may have been responsible for these deaths? You know, were they the target, or do you think the girls were the target? And if so, which girl do you think was a target? Thank you. Let's see here. Show BHB, but guys, don't forget to let me go see what our clicks are here. Give me just a second. We've got, wow, we're just under 700 likes on this show. 700 likes. Let's try to get that. We got almost 1,200. We have over 1,200 people in this room. If you haven't gone out and liked this yet, please go out and consider giving me a like. It's a thumbs up. And let me know what number you are. I'm interested in finding out where you fall on the likes. Are you're keeping me my likes full or not? Because my mods do a great job. And them seeing these likes, them seeing you guys enjoy yourself on this channel really does, is the big thank you that the mods need from each and every one of you when doing this. So I just want to say thank you. And we are growing. We are growing quite a bit. In my opinion, it was personal. It was very personal. I really do believe it was very personal. Were there bloody footprints outside the house? There was blood everywhere, Dolly UK. Absolutely everywhere. There is blood. There is no way. And I described this is before these press conferences. This is before I knew, to the gravity of this case. I even said, and I brought up that movie Carrie. Remember when she was at the high school prom and they dumped blood all over her and she is just head to toe with blood? That is really what you're looking at. You're looking at a person dripping from head to toe in blood. This is somebody that had, and this is almost implying he had to have lived nearby too, because who the hell can get away with that much blood all over their body and walk home and nobody notice a man dripping with blood from head to toe? And I actually implied when Dolly and I were having we were passing back theories, just, briefly. I actually brought up the theory of the neighbor, a possible neighbor. Let me just see if I can get to my messenger here. Hold on just a second, and I'll read to you what I had in my messenger. Give me just a second. Okay. Okay. I said it could have been a disgruntled neighbor or an ex-roommate as well. One of the roommates moved out recently. Still a lot of theories is what my comments were when just speculating and, brainstorming with other creators about what we feel that could have happened. And that was my thing. So, I mean, this could also be something where, this is a college town, maybe a neighbor that wasn't into all the parties and into all the music, weekend after weekend, people staying up to 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it was somebody that was, there is that possibility that this was a neighbor that was frustrated with this house. That is a possibility, but still a lot of theories left on the table to speculate about. But I really think we're kind of looking in the right direction, but I think we're looking at the wrong person with this, because I haven't heard anything about Maddie's life. Why? Why is that the one person that we're not learning a lot about? We know a lot about Ethan. We know a lot about Kaylee. We haven't heard a whole lot about Zaina or Maddie. And I'm interested in that. I'm interested in finding out, just to close my worry box, I'm interested in finding out who, when Ethan and Zaina started dating, like if they've been together for a year or more, I mean, there's no, they don't look like the entanglement type of kids. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. They seem like they're in love with each other, and they may have came there from a high school, and that will diffuse them being the target at all. I really believe that Ethan and Zaina are the collateral damage. I really, really, really believe they are the collateral damage. And it seems to me that with Kaylee and Madison, you get one, you get both. So it seems like they've been friends since they were children, and you don't get one without the other. And that could, in a sense, cause problems in a relationship in and on its face, because there are some men out there that cannot handle a woman, whether it's her best friend or not, putting somebody's relationship and friendship above theirs. And when you have best friends, that's exactly what best friends do. They put their relationship above any other relationship that they have. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Let's see where our likes are now. We're getting close. I can tell you that. All right. So we're at 781. Nice. Nice. Let's see what else. Big shout out to my friend Karen. You know who I am. Big shout out to my friend Melanie, all from Savannah, Georgia. I know you guys are probably watching, but not typing in the chat, and just wanted to give you guys a holla. A holla, holla, holla. Good morning, Patricia. Nice to see you. I hope you are doing well. Who's Maddie's ex? Thank you, Renee. Those are the questions we need to be asking. I don't know. I don't know. And why I'm saying that, you know, we're tearing all these other people's lives apart, but why aren't we tearing Maddie's life apart? Because I truly believe, and I don't mean it sound I guess I should watch what I say. We do have haters out there that's going to twist my words. You know what I mean by that. Nothing disrespectful or anything like that, but I really think this is got something to do with Maddie. I could be wrong. As more information comes out, I might be adjusting my position. But based on the stuff that we're hearing here, the stuff that we know as fact, again, law enforcement wants us to stay away. These kids were not hogtied. They weren't tied up. They weren't anything. They were sleeping when this altercation happened. When they met their demise, we know that 11/13 at 11:58 in the morning, right shortly before noon, law enforcement gets the 911 call of an unconscious person, which when they arrived there, they found 4 people that had been slain in their beds, some with defensive wounds, which means more than one person put up a fight, in my opinion. We have three groups in this home. So we have the 2 surviving victims that went out together that arrived home around 1 a.m. We have Ethan and Zaina, which arrived home around 1:45, along with Kaylee and Maddie, even though those 4 weren't together. Ethan and Zaina were over at the Sigma Chi fraternity party, while Kaylee and Madison went to the corner bar and to the grub truck. There was an unidentified man that was with them that was in a white hoodie. He has been cleared. We learned that Maddie and Kaylee used a vehicle, a private driver, to get them from that grub truck to their home. They also arrived around 1:45. That driver of that vehicle has been cleared. We learned that Kaylee's boyfriend, Jack, was called multiple times that evening in the early morning hours. Law enforcement has identified that Jack, the boyfriend, has also been cleared. We have misinformation about the 911 caller. While the phone was one of the surviving roommates in that home, it does appear that it is possible that somebody else, a visiting friend, actually made the 911 call to law enforcement from the roommate's phone, potentially. But again, even that 911 caller has been cleared. So it seems like anybody that we're looking at in the immediate area of these people have been cleared, but there is somebody. They're not willing to tell us who, but they are telling us this was a targeted attack. They're not telling us who was targeted because it goes to the integrity of their investigation, and they're not willing to release that information yet. That doesn't mean they don't know and the information does not exist. I believe wholeheartedly that this law enforcement outfit knows who they believe, or at least a good short list of suspects and persons of interest that they still have yet to clear. They have gone through 694 leads and have cleared almost all of them. So that's what's making me feel they know who's potentially has done this. They are collecting the evidence to identify this person conclusively. I think they've got this person in their radars. They know who this person is. And right now they are processing this massive amount of evidence to point once the evidence comes back, hopefully it will point in the direction of their suspect that they're not naming. And I do believe that they have at least one or more than one on a short list of suspects that still have yet to be cleared, that have a connection and would have targeted this home and the folks that reside in it. No, I'm not 100% sure that it was a male, but here is what makes me make it possible and make me believe it, because you see the girls there. Okay, there is not a girl. Kaylee, nope. Maddie, nope. Zaina, nope. That can take on a very well athletic man. And why do I say that? Because Ethan, according to his mother, we played the interview of his mother, and we got out of there. Let's just go over what the mom said. Ethan was a triplet. He had not identical, but paternal siblings, triplets, Hunter and Maisie. Okay. The parents stated that Ethan was very athletic. He loved sports. So that means he was physical. I looked at photos of him. He does not look like somebody that can't take care of himself. We heard from law enforcement that some of the victims had defensive wounds, and I bet you it would have been Ethan as one of those people that were defending himself as well as the woman that he loved. I believe that only a man would be able to take on Ethan. That is why I am identifying this person as a male. That is my opinion. That is my speculation based on the facts that are known to me. There is no receipt for that. Again, law enforcement hasn't come out and said this was a man. We are speculating that it's a man, and that is my speculation and my opinion. Some people may take this information and come up with a different conclusion, and that's perfectly okay. There are some women out there that can cause a lot of harm. This smells like a man to me. This does not smell like a brutal woman, a ruthless woman. This doesn't sound like a, Eileen Warnes, type of woman. This sounds like a man that targeted one of these girls, potentially Kaylee or Maddie. I am saying my opinion is I believe Maddie was the one that was targeted as opposed to Kaylee. And there are some reasons that I'm not willing to speak of just yet that are leading me to Maddie, as you guys can imagine. So again, that's just the information as it's becoming available to us. Thank you all for all the super chats. Many of you guys know I travel around the country covering these cases in real time. The last one we did was Quentin Simon. We plan on going back to Chatham, Georgia, to cover the case because, again, Leilani is still not behind bars. They are going to end the search out at the landfill on December 9th. So I have a funny feeling that's going to be probably in and around the time or in the preceding weeks that I will be emerging out in Chatham County. Until then, there is all this stuff going on in Idaho with the Idaho 4 as well as Michael Monkey Vaughn. So not sure what I'm going to do with that information, but if you guys would like to sponsor our next project, you can do so. The best way to help this channel is through Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. I do appreciate all the super chats and super stickers, but if you know how those work, that's not immediate to us. That's 30 days from today. I will have access to the super chats, super stickers, and such. Also, YouTube does take 30%. If you would like to give us immediate cash to help us with our next project, the best way to do that is, again, through PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Also, people are always asking how can they, do stuff, nice stuff. We have a wish list item. We have 2 different wish list items. One is for Bullhorn Betty channel. This is stuff that we do need. I just found out that some of our big ticket items, I can just marry myself and we can start contributing on a big ticket item because Dolly just told us that, showed us that, right? I'm surprised he decided to marry himself instead of Leilani, but I heard Leilani, and yes, I say Leilani, said yes. And I don't know how Dolly ended up marrying himself, but he does love himself quite a bit. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I love the Turtle King too. Don't shoot the messenger. But when we have a thank you, because I only had the Bullhorn Betty channel stuff that was needed for quite some time. And people are like, well, what if we want to just tell you thank you and want to give you something that's not related? So I did put together that. We've got some beautiful pillows that came in, as well as this sign that says just breathe. Many of you know I'm going to be redoing this. All this stuff is going to go away. I don't know when, because I've been so busy that I haven't even had time to think. Who knows, right? Who knows? Guys, it's 9:30. I love you guys. I will be coming back. We're going to be going over. Let's discuss what we're going to be going over this afternoon. If you would like to come back here to discuss this stuff, like we are going to be going over some statistics of killings, knives, behavioral analysis type of information, profiling information, and up-to-date information about this case as we know it. As you know, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, I believe it is, they will be at 5 o'clock our time, 5 or 6 o'clock our time. We will be running this on the 3rd live from the Bullhorn Betty channel. The update of this case coming out on Wednesday. And I will see you guys here soon. I got to get the car down to the mechanic, and I will be out of wheels for about 2 or 3 days. So you're probably going to see me more in the next few days than you guys have seen me, because I will literally be here without a ride. And I've got plenty of food. Don't worry. I cooked a mess of food last night. I had some beef stew that needed to be cooked up. I had a rotisserie chicken that needed to be cooked down so I can make soup. And of course, I have my infamous bird that's going to be going into the oven today, because I have plans on Thanksgiving with family and friends. That was spur of the moment, because I wasn't even going to be here for Thanksgiving, and now I am because of the car and as well as my tooth. Many of you guys don't know, because I got my pearly whites, and you can't see it because they're pearly whites, but I have a filling that fell out right there. You can't see it because it's so small. And it's not bothering me, but it still needs to be filled. It looks, doesn't look good in person. So I'll be getting that filled on Friday. And then after Friday, I will be hitting the road. And where do I go? I'm not telling. I'm not going to tell you where we're going to pop up at. But what I will tell you is, if you would like to donate to our next project, that's how you do it. We are going to go. If you guys want to wait until we get there and make sure it's a project that you approve, you are more than welcome, because we will be going live from wherever we pop up. With that, guys, I just want to tell you guys to please be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Guys, I love you guys deeply. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for the love and support of this channel. I'm really working very hard to give you guys factual information, but allow us to be able to speculate based upon those facts, and really trying to cultivate a good communication and a good chat environment and a good viewing experience, and for each and every one, even the haters. I don't like them being attacked either. But with that being said, again, if you guys did not watch the beginning of this show, I want to make sure I clarify with you. We are not engaging with the haters. I don't want to know what they're saying. I don't care what they're saying. We are far above and way over them right now. We're not going to go back. We're not going to lower ourselves back to the gutter to deal with this. We don't need to. These people, they don't know what they're talking about. They are drama people. They are part of the sob squad. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want you guys having anything to do with them, quite frankly. And I don't want you guys going in there and fighting for my honor, because to be honest with you, I have to respect them to give a damn about their opinion. I have no respect for these channels. There's no point. You know what arguing with an idiot makes you look like? It makes you look like the idiot you're arguing with. So don't argue with the idiots, right? We're better than that. We are way, way, way better than that. Well, Evil Abe, it's none of your damn business. Because see, I don't have to explain a damn thing to you. That's the beauty of having my own channel. But by all means, get your own channel and talk about what you want. You are more than welcome to start your own channel and have your own opinion and have your own voice. Just don't come here. I don't like you, haven't liked you, don't know you, don't care about you, right? If you got in a wreck today, I wouldn't know and wouldn't cry. People are saying that's heartless. Oh well. Right? Oh well. It's heartless. It's heartless that I don't care about somebody I don't know. Okay? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there I don't know and don't even think about, right? That would be one of them. So, anyways, guys, have a great item. Oh, thank you, Renee. That's so sweet. I appreciate it. God bless. God bless. But we are going to be moving. We're going to be shaking and baking, and we're going to be bringing some great content to you the rest of this year and into 2023. There's been several of us that have made a commitment to be on the road and bring these things to you with boots on the ground. And as we start rolling that out, as we start collaborating with other groups and other people, the content and the work is just going to get better. Many people out here said, "Hey, if a bunch of you great minds in the crime genre would get together and work together, how much more could be done? How much better work can?" We are listening to you guys. We're hearing everything you're saying. We are working on it. Believe me, nothing you guys are doing is going in one ear and out the other. We're hearing your requests. We're hearing your calling. We're hearing the need for this. We're hearing that this content, nobody's trusting mainstream media anymore. And people are turning to YouTubers to get them the information that they need to know about these cases. And we're going to do that for you. We're going to do that for you. But again, it takes a village. And this is not just me going out. These are multiple people. We've got Dolly traveling the country, Olivia, Mom, and myself traveling the country. Justice for All, MGL, Mallory, traveling the country, right? So I don't know how many other people are. We know Chris McDonough's out there. He has his own little thing going on, with the cold case squad. God bless him. God bless the work that he's doing. He's definitely helped Brandy Neal's case and getting some stuff going in her case. So God bless him for the work. But again, the good work never happens sitting here, right? We've never heard of somebody fixing problems by sitting on their ass. So that's what we do. We go out there. We're going to get the content. We're going to get the information. We're going to bring it back. And hopefully along the way, we can help search. We can help provide some information to victims, family, and others. The whole hate area of YouTube is getting quieter and quieter and quieter. And the more we remove their voice, the more they're going to try to kick, scream, and bitch about everything. You're going to start seeing me tagged in everything. You're going to start seeing Dolly tagged in everything. You're going to start seeing them come out and start throwing up my criminal record from 2 decades ago to a decade ago. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody cares. Your bitching is falling on deaf ears because you guys have not stopped bitching for the solid year that I've been here. And quite frankly, we're deaf tone, right? We're deaf tone to the bitching. We don't care anymore. We don't care. You guys have your 9,000 followers and keep bitching and wonder why you guys can't grow while we keep doing God's work and we keep doing great work. That's where we're going in this, and we're not going to fall backwards, and we're not getting in the drama, and I hope everybody that's in this chat supports that. So with that, guys, God bless each and every one of you. Go make it a great Monday. This crazy week has just started, and I'll see you this afternoon. God bless you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.